Hey there, welcome to my office. This is the gym. And I want to give you just a quick sequence of work you can do at your desk during the day. Take no more than 5 minutes to do on your own. I'm sure it'll take a few more than 5 for me to explain and walk you through it for the first time, but after that, you can just do it. It's just going to be head to toe, 3 or 4 exercises, 4 total exercises. First one is a breathing drill, because chances are you've been here, maybe a little bit of up and out, reaching the chin forward. So we've got a lot of chest breathing opportunities, but not a lot of posterior expansion. That's fancy for breathing into the back ribs or getting a nice full breath and therefore reducing stress. So we're gonna do that now. Let's take 5 breaths. What we'll do is get into a slightly hinged forward position. And then as we exhale our first breath, we'll pull ourselves into this cat back that we've done on the floor in quadruped, cat-cow, hanging on to, gripping somewhere on the body, maybe behind the knees, maybe the ankles. Maybe if you're really flexible, you can get under your feet. That feels too deep for me. So let's go ahead and get set up. I'll give you a side visual here. We're going to inhale nice and slow and quiet through the nose, filling up the back ribs. Exhale, blow through the mouth. Feel the ribs and the pelvis get more space to squish together here. So you want to shorten this space here. And then maintain that squish that you just gained. Keep pushing the shoulder blades away from each other or pulling into your body, and inhale again through the nose. Look right between your feet. Exhale, blow it out. Squish more. Now you should be finding it more easy to breathe into the back because there's no room to breathe in the front. Here we go. Inhale, feel those back ribs expand. All the way up and then all the way out. Keep going till you're actually empty. A lot of time we don't get all the air out. 2 more breaths. I'll let you go at your pace. Here we go. When you're done, you can roll 1 vertebrae up at a time. Stack up to seated. Oh, my abs are cramping. Side effect. All right. And then you can put your hands right here where I've got mine, right where the ribs meet the soft part of the belly below, and then try to lift the sternum just a little higher. It should feel like a really nice counter stretch. If you looked at yourself in the mirror from the side, it might look like you're just sitting upright like I do, but you should feel some work here, some work on extending or going past neutral here. All right, and then back to neutral. Okay, let's work on getting the neck and the thoracic spine some movement outside of this tunnel vision, assuming you're at a desk or focusing on something very narrow in your field of depth of field, width of field, whatever it's called. And so let's start with neck cars. I'm going to turn a quarter turn and face you so you can work through it with me. Let's just do 2 each way. You've probably done these with me in the past, but in case it's a new one for you, just follow along, listening, and you can peek. I'll be doing it with you, okay? So let's take a breath in. Exhale the ribs back. Make fists with your hands and just pull your shoulders back and down just a gentle bit so you feel like you're stable here. Tuck the chin into the sternal notch, that little notch right above your sternum. And then glide your chin across your collarbone towards your right shoulder. Don't let your left shoulder come with you. This is why we have a little bit of stiffness and tension in the arms. When you get that chin to your shoulder, you can tip your head back just a little bit. Don't let your ribs drive forward in opposition. And then make a big rainbow up and over to the left shoulder, peeking over the left shoulder when you get there. You can literally look. It helps me to get my chin in the right place. Then tuck the chin to where the collarbone and the shoulder meet. So just get kind of down into the side. And then glide it across that left collarbone, all the way toward the sternal notch. Lift up. Let's go again, same way. You can add some breath. Exhale down to the right shoulder. Arc the chin up and over. To the right, to the left, pardon me. Doing everything backwards. Come back to the sternal notch. Lift the chin. Let's go the other way. So now you're dragging that chin across your left collarbone toward your left shoulder. Tip it back just a tiny bit. Arc up and over. Remember, don't move into pinching pain on the closing angle. That means as you're bringing your chin over to your right shoulder, if you're getting pain there, just pause a little sooner and kind of move around that pain so you can continue on with the rest of the circle with uninhibited. Bring it up. Last rep. This should feel really good. The more tension you create with the shoulders and arms and the mid-body here, the more it will feel like work and more it will feel like strength training and like actual range is being gained. So treat it how you like. If you just want to get some movement in, you can stay fairly relaxed and do those and get plenty of benefit out of it too. All right, thoracic spine. We're going to use our chair a little bit. And so I'm going to turn the back of my chair so we have some leverage. I'm going to get a little closer. Woo. All right, hang on just a sec. The camera angle is really wonky. This is high-class cinematography here. Okay. I think I can live with that. All right, in case it was bothering you too. So let's go ahead and do some thoracic work. We're going to just work on rotation because I think that's maybe there's some flexion and extension happening, but not much rotation at all. So let's go ahead and crisscross. Arms over the shoulders, if it feels comfortable. If not, you could cross your arms like this. It just helps to get the shoulder blades out of the way. So let's take a breath. Exhale, and as you exhale, rotate to your right. It's really easy on this drill to feel that rotation in the upper body versus standing. Inhale through the center. Exhale to your left. Because your hips are stuck to the chair, check that while you're there, you're not excessively rolling those hips forward, dumping the pelvis forward, or that you're not rounding under a ton. Try to find the middle. 2 more reps each way. So I'm going to catch up. Exhaling to your right. Exhaling just gives us more space to turn into. If you again want more stability, you could scoot to the front edge, plant those feet wide, pull the ground apart, get more tension throughout the body. The more internal tension you create, the more work that moving part is going to be able to do. 1 more each way. Again, try to find a full exhale. If you feel like you're losing your breath, sometimes it's just because you haven't fully exhaled. My last one here. Come back to the center, inhaling. Exhale, wall peel. So I'm going to give you a side view. Pull your chin down to your sternal notch and then try to peel 1 vertebrae off that imaginary wall behind you until you get to the middle of your turtleback or where your bra strap's still connected to the wall. And then inhale, try to push all the way to neutral, stacking back up 1 vertebrae at a time, and then move into extension. Try to keep that low back calm and quiet and the ribs on the body. If you've lost your breath here, meaning the tempo isn't working for you, I'm with you there. Let's do 2 more. Peeling through neutral and then forward. Just keep breathing. And then reorient your vertebrae in a nice stack. And then start to pull through. Think about lifting that sternum up like there's a string attached right here to your sternum. And it's just lifting it up without letting that back go. So don't let the hips dump forward and don't let the ribs fly forward like I did. And last one, wall peel. And extension. Really hang on here. You need to stay braced. It should feel like if you whacked yourself, you'd be ready for it, right? You keep that tension. Give yourself a slap in the belly. It's always a nice way to conclude the work break. All right, fourth and final joint we're gonna work on. Oh, third. We did 1, 2, 3, the wrists. The wrists get a lot of work, especially if you're at a desk. So we're gonna do wrist cars. I'm gonna walk you through one way with each arm, and then I will challenge you to go the other way, like counterclockwise or whatever the opposite direction is, without any kind of check-in or without any support. So the first time I want you to do it, just get a light grip with your left hand onto your right wrist, so that if you start to roll that thumb side over, you can feel those bones slide. We don't want the rotation to come from up here. This is the radius and the ulna crossing. We want to keep those in the same place and make the movement only happen below this, or whatever, extending this way. Ready? Let's go ahead and make a fist. And then curl your right knuckles toward your face. Pull the thumb side out. And then start to draw the knuckles down toward the floor. As you get to full extension, go ahead and pull the pinky side in and come back through the center. Good, 2 more the same direction. Nice. If you speed through these, you'll probably miss some edges, some good stuff. So try to make it painfully slow like this. All right, that was 3 on that side. Let's do the other hand. Make that fist. Pull your palm toward you. Thumb side flares out. Open the palm toward the floor. Pinky side comes in. And then up and around. This, sometimes the non-dominant hand can be a little less willing to move. Sometimes it's your point and click, which for a lot of us is your dominant hand, can be a little more squirrely. So just notice where you're having trouble communicating to and where you're having trouble moving in the same amount of range compared to the other joint. All right, this is my third and final. Okay, so we went around, out and around on both. Now I want you to try doing both at the same time. This could get messy, so you could switch back to kind of having a little safety there for yourself, but go ahead and let's start the same way. So pull the fists toward your face, both at the same time. And now flare the pinky side in. Don't let those thumbs roll in. And then down and to the outside. 1. You're doing it, right? This is like the better side to start learning this hands-free version. 2. Don't let those elbows do the work for you. We need to be able to isolate and get the movement from the joint that's supposed to do the movement. Case in point, these wrists. And 3. Whew, nice. So let's finish up with the hips. We've been sitting static for a while if you're doing this as a work break. So we're going to get the capsule to move to each of its end range rotational positions. You can do this seated or you can do it standing. I'm going to first show you the version of sitting, and then we'll try standing on the next round. Then you can choose what to do on your next trip to this part of the work. So I want you to just lift your right leg up and hover it just a tiny bit over above the floor so the foot is off the ground. And then we're imagining this thigh is skewered with a steak. I know, very graphic, right? Imagine it is the hinge point. So the knee stays right in line with the hip. It's not squirreling around as we go. Sorry, I've got the wrong color clothes on today. And we're just gonna keep that foot hovering over the floor, keep the foot itself as loose as possible. So don't try to effort into the ankle much, just try to make this hip work. We're gonna swing the ankle out away from our midline, keeping that knee right in line here with the hip. And then we're gonna swing the heel in. Again, because you're seated, it's really hard to hip hike. It's really hard to cheat when you're sitting down versus standing. Let's do 5 here. Takes a little more core and hip flexor here. 2 more, if the floor is in the way. So that's a good reason to stand. If you're in a flexed position and you have pinching pain or it's just too much to sustain, you could stand and then you could have your knee lower without running into the floor. Good, let's do the other leg. So scooch up to the front edge of your chair, lift that foot off the floor, take an exhale, pulling the ribs back, and then swing the knee or the heel out, and then swing the heel in for 5 reps. Make sure you're finding the edges there, meaning the point where you like literally stop moving. You can't go beyond. 3, 3. Last pair. Nice. Right. Second set, we'll do standing with the chair as some balance support. I'm going to turn this to the side. Here I am. So we're going to do the same thing as we did before, starting with the right leg. Pull that knee up. But this time, swing the knee out to the side. Keep your hips facing me. And we're going to swivel that ankle out and in. If you've done all my videos, you're like, geez, Ann, we do these so much. Because it is one of those drills that you could do standing in the kitchen, waiting for the water to boil, wait at a work break or a seminar, standing in the back of the room, at the DMV, anywhere you are that requires just a couple minutes. 4, 5, I think I did more than 5. And they're so useful. It's one step from the hip car, which if you know this plus this and where it goes next, you could do those instead too. But this is like no brainer, right? Bring that left knee up, stand tall on your right hip, pull the knee out, keep your hip headlights facing me, and let's swing the ankle in and out 5 times. So in the standing position, if this hip flexor is just screaming at you, and that's what you feel more than the hip, outer hip especially itself, you could move through this range with the knee floating just a little below, parallel with the hip. That is a-okay. And once again, I've lost count. 5. All right. So that was the sequence. We did neck, thoracic spine, wrists, and hips. You should be good to go, even if you just pick one of those to do at each work break or the one that is bugging you the most. You're going to have a nicer evening and a nicer week, and gradually over time, everything's going to start feeling better. So keep coming back to those basics, and I promise you won't be disappointed. Bye.